Welcome back to Esox Explorer. Today I'm going to be doing a preview of the new, to me, Piscifun Alijoz 400. I was in need of a reel replacement. I was about to pull the trigger on a reel that I had been using for the past few years, but decided I was going to give the Piscifun Alijoz 400 a shot. At least I believe that's how it's pronounced, is Alijoz. I was able to pick up two of these reels for less than the price of one of my other reels that I've been using. Concerning, questionable, but we're going to take a look at it. I do have one out of the box already. I was too excited to see exactly what it was like, but I do have this one yet that I will be doing the box opening with, to show you exactly how things come with this reel. But we're going to dig into that. The video shouldn't be too long, but it should be informative for you, and hopefully you'll find it interesting. This is how the reel comes, shipped to you and everything. Nothing fancy, doesn't come in a separate box or anything. I'm going to take a little razor blade here and cut it off. It's kind of a heavier duty plastic cover on it. The two reels came actually attached to each other, kind of taped or secured together. So I mean, these things aren't going anywhere. So that's what it looks like. All sealed. Take a look at the specs here. 9 bearings. I got the 6:1 gear ratio on this. The retrieve per turn on the 6:1 is 34 inches, 38 pounds of drag. The reel itself weighs 14.5 ounces. Has the mono capacity of 17 pound test is 270 yards, but I'm going to be using all braid on this. So the braid capacity of 80 pounds is going to be 165. So I'm going to get about 100. Myself, I'm going to get probably about 120 yards of line on there. I'll go into line in another video coming up that I'll be using this year and everything. So, but it's cellophane shut, solid secure box. And I was actually pretty darn impressed with how the reel came. I mean, these things are going to be, they're not going to go anywhere, let's just put it that way. You know what? I'll be back. You didn't need to see me struggling to get the cover off, but you can see the cover and everything. It's very, very nicely made. I mean, very secure. Cover comes off. Got the manual with all the important information as far as reel usage goes and everything. Parts list, the whole 9 yards. Foam padding. Nice bag for it. Has the handle wrench with a little screwdriver on it. We're going to put that back in. And then very securely in there, it's not going anywhere, is the reel itself. So very smooth. This thing is, I was quite impressed with the reel itself in the box and everything. It's the fine-tuning adjustment. Has the main casting adjustment. I like the clicker portion on the star drag. But again, this is the 6:6:1. It's actually a cool purplish blue. Wasn't sure on the handle if it was going to be lopsided, but it actually feels very well balanced. So it shouldn't take off on you during a cast or anything like that. Like some of the power handles do. Screw is tight here. A lot of times those will loosen up on the reels when they're shipped. They travel overseas. Clicker. This one has a clicker, and I do like the placement of that clicker down and away and protected. You're not going to turn it off and on by accident. Another feature I do like on this one, if a person is going to fill it up with braided line rather than putting mono backing on or black electrician's tape to hold in for it to grab onto on the shaft of the arbor of the spool, it does have the pin on there if you want to tie on directly. I know I tie my mono directly to that with a knot and then just pull it tight, and then I'll put mono backing. I put 20-pound test mono backing on underneath my braid. But that is the unpacking of it. Now let's go through and let's take a look at some of the things that I have noted about the reel itself. Well, now you've seen the reel and the unpacking of it, what's in the box itself. But before I give you my first impressions on the reel and everything, I just want to say and give you a little bit of background on myself. I'm a former reel tech for the Abu Garcia National Service Center. After it was moved, after the Pure Fishing had purchased Abu Garcia, they moved the National Service Center from New Jersey to Two Rivers, Wisconsin, and I became a reel tech for them. So I was able to handle literally thousands and thousands and thousands of reels. My time with them, and then after them, I continued to work on reels for people, and I did all my own reels prior to that. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to fishing reels, handling literally thousands of them again. And because of my extensive experience with reels and also selling them, because I was a sales person, regional sales manager or territory manager for Pure Fishing, and sold Abu Garcia and Fluger and a lot of those other reels. I'm very particular to my reels themselves, quality-wise, smoothness-wise, how they're going to function, things like that. Let's just say I'm not one that's easily impressed with reels, because I'm very particular when it comes to those. So just want to lay that out before we kind of dig into the actual my actual takeaway, my first impressions on the reel. Again, this is not a review of a reel, but a preview. We'll do a review after I get some use out of it, but this is going to be the preview of the reel, and hopefully you find it interesting, kind of shed some light on it from a perspective from a person that has dealt with reels for a long time. Okay, let's dig into my first impressions on this reel itself. Smooth. First thing I noticed right out of the box, it was smooth when I picked this thing up. Very comfortable. I've got big hands. I think the 300 would probably have been a little bit small for my liking. I know that I have the rod that I have it paired up with right now, very comfortable, but the reel itself is very smooth, very quiet, very comfortable, not too big, not too small, not heavy at all, and very nicely shapely sized, so it fits in the hand very well and everything. So the reel itself too, as you can see, it's actually a really nice looking reel. It's a pretty reel. I know it doesn't catch fish, but it's a good looking reel on that. I like the again, like I pointed out before, the clicking on the drag adjustment kind of helps hold that in place. With that, I do like the tension knob. You hear that, the clicking there, so it doesn't back off very well. Showed you the clicker before. It's a loud clicker, and I do like how it is kind of set back in there, so you're not going to turn it on and off by accident, or it's not up on top where your thumb is going to hit it. The fine tune dial that has for the tension, that is click based as well. All the way off and everything comes that way, and it's a very balanced power handle. Like I said before, the handle itself, it feels very smooth, very well balanced. That's important. Nice part about it is the frame itself and the foot, aluminum. It's all aluminum and everything, and then it does have plastic side plates. And people are going to say, well, it doesn't have stainless, or it's not steel, it doesn't have metal side plates, things like that. When you get into a little bit bigger reel like this, I think I might know why they did that. One, price point. To get the sides machined and everything, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. But when it gets to a reel like this, you want to go light. You don't want to make a real heavy reel. So I'm gonna think that to keep the weight down for this size, they went with aluminum, which is still strong, and they went with the lightweight sides and everything to keep the weight down, which I think is a very smart thing to do when it gets into that for muskie fishermen, just for the sheer fact that we're on the water casting with these things all the time for long periods of time during the day, and keeps you from getting tired and everything. Today's plastics, they're definitely not what they used to be. It can be thinner plastic without compromising the strength and the durability of them. So I am not shying away from the fact that it does have the plastic side plates. That doesn't bother me. Again, this one, this is the 400H. Has the 9 bearings, has the indication of the braid and the mono on the bottom here, and on the bottom here, this is the 6:6 gear ratio. They do make the 8:1. I am going to be perfectly honest with you that my honest opinion is you don't want to go to the 8:1 for muskie fishing. And here's my thing with that. What they did, and this goes back to my Abu Garcia days, when they had the 6500 C3 and the 6500 C4. The C3 was your standard 5.3 or 5.7 and then the C4 was the high speed, same size gear. With that being said, when you keep that gearing that same size, but you up the speed, what you're doing is you have to make more teeth, and those teeth are going to get smaller and thinner, and they're going to be actually easier to roll. And then that's when you're going to get the buzzing sound. So if you ever threw a 6500 C4 and it was buzzing, you probably are throwing some big heavy baits with it, or you're throwing bucktails time and again. I can be honest with you, I burned up a C4 testing that myself up on Lake of the Woods. I burned up a C4 in under 3 days, and that thing was shot. I needed new gears in it. So that's why I would highly recommend shying away from the 8:1, because it's not going to be any different size on the side plate. So that tells me that the gear itself is going to be the same size. They just up the number of teeth in it. If they would do this 8:1 with a bigger gear in it, It's going to be a completely different side plate, different reel configuration and everything, but it would need a bigger gear in there with the same amount of teeth to do the job that this that they wanted to without burning it up. Again, when you go to that high speed with that same size gear, you are going to roll those teeth. They're brass gears. As we know, brass isn't super solid and strong, but it is durable. But can be easily rolled when you get into those thinning up those teeth. So yes, that is coming from a former reel tech that sold high-speed reels but would not sell them for musky fishing. If guys remember going to shows, and probably most people don't remember talking to me from probably 15 years ago at the musky shows, 15 or more years ago, at the musky shows, when I was with Abu Garcia, I would not push or want to sell a high-speed reel. I mean, a standard C4, the Record, things like that. Those are great reels. The Morums, those are great reels. They were also not high-speed reels. When they went to the low profile and they went to that bigger gear and they upped it to the 6.3 to 1, the 6.6 to 1, things like that, then that is not so bad. But when you get up into that 8.1 to 1, I don't care what anyone says, you are going to roll the teeth on those gears. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. And the thing is, 8.1 to 1 reel, I mean, yeah, you can pick up reel line a little bit faster and everything like that. You know what? On a 6.6 to 1, turn the handle a little bit faster, and do yourself a favor and just enjoy the reel, and you won't have to worry about burning it out. So, but that is going to be my take on the Piscifun Alijoz 400, right-handed 6.6 to 1 gear ratio. Great looking reel, light, not super heavy. I will be doing, this is a preview of it. I will be doing the actual review after I get some time on the water with these things, once musky season opens up for me here. I don't do the southern opener and things like that. I don't do the early season typically. I'll get going in probably that June time frame. I want to give those fish a break and everything when it comes to the spawning time. So I'm not one to get out and bust their chops right away, but I'll get you a review on that once I get on the water. But I will tell you, on my first impressions of this reel, I'm actually very impressed. I'm very impressed. I think Piscifun, I think they've got a winner here, and time will tell. But it's going to get a definite workout with twitch baits, glide baits, probably throw some big rubber with it, see how that works. Definitely, it was going to be a bucktail reel, spinnerbait reel, things like that. So again, hope you enjoyed the video. But from Esox Explorer, Piscifun 400 looks like a winner. We'll take a look at it, and again, we'll review it, and after the season gets going. Other than that, have a good one, and there'll be more videos coming.